You would never know that this super thick and creamy ice cream is secretly healthy. No dairy, no added sugar, sweetened only with dates and whole food ingredients, high in protein. I don't use any pudding mixes or cottage cheese in these recipes. I'm gonna share my favorite recipes for making super healthy ice cream using the Ninja CREAMI. I am seriously obsessed with my Ninja CREAMI. I use it like at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. Like I'll make an acai bowl in the morning and then ice cream at night. I really didn't want like another kitchen appliance sitting on my counter. I have like 500 kitchen appliances, but it's been so worth it. Like also, if you think about it, you're just like meal prepping like a protein shake, or like you can meal prep an acai bowl for breakfast and then just like whip it up in the morning. Anyways, enough yapping. Before I make these, I blend them up in my Vitamix first. So I'll show you my chocolate frosty recipe, which is like a good base for pretty much how I make all my recipes. Oh, this is brownies. How did this... Wrong container. So for all my recipes, I use about 2 or 3 pitted dates. Since I had protein powder in there as well, the protein powder usually is sweetened with something. So I have my pitted dates in here. I use walnuts to give it a nice creamy texture. It's basically like making a really rich nut milk, because when you mix nuts with water, you basically make homemade nut milk. And you can do this with any type of nuts. You can do almonds, cashews. I've done this with hemp seeds. Walnuts are a super healthy nut, so I like this as a way to include walnuts in my diet every day. I keep a bag of frozen cauliflower rice in my freezer for making my Ninja CREAMI recipes. It is such a good veggie to hide in these healthy ice cream recipes. It's a little bit less than 1 cup. Then I add in whatever protein powder I want it to be flavored like. Since I'm making a chocolate frosty, this is chocolate protein powder. Here's a tip. A lot of people use pudding mixes to get a really thick and creamy texture. I personally don't really think you need to add anything, but I've seen a lot of people recommend gums like xanthan gum, guar gum. So if you have a protein powder that has gums in it, which this one does, it's gonna give you like a really thick ice cream. I personally don't really like gums. I feel like I can like taste it when I'm drinking the protein powder. That's just a little side note. I've seen other people recommend that in Ninja CREAMI recipes. One last thing I like to add is a sprinkle of vanilla bean powder. I feel like this gives it such a nice flavor when it's blended up. Then I just blend it up with either some type of plant-based milk or water. On my Vitamix, I just fill it up to the 2 cups, and that's how I know I'll get a perfect amount for my Ninja CREAMI pint. Then we just pour it into our creamy cup, right to the line. Then we just stick this in the freezer. This is how I like to blend up my creamies for the best result. I take it out of the freezer and run it under hot water for about a minute. Then I blend it up on light ice cream. I feel like this gives me the best result without having to blend it up a bunch of times. After 1 cycle, it will look like this, really powdery, and I use a knife or I'm using a chopstick here to scrape down the sides because they'll be really icy. Splash in 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk and then blend it up again on the light ice cream setting. And this is the result. Look at this perfection. It tastes so similar to a Wendy's Frosty. It is unbelievable. I wanted to show this recipe first because this is like my general base for my recipes. I use the walnuts, dates, and protein powder in most of my recipes. And from there, you can like switch up the flavor with anything you want. Oh, so good. So creamy. Seriously, tastes like a Wendy's Frosty. Next, we're making pumpkin spice ice cream. It is absolutely perfect for fall. It seriously tastes like frozen pumpkin pie filling. It is so good. Please ignore my stained Vitamix container. It is so hard to keep these looking new. Apparently this is from mineral deposits. It is not dirty. Starting out with 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin puree. 3 medjool dates for this one. 1 scoop of vanilla protein powder. Add 1 more scoop of pea protein powder because this has 10 more grams, so it'll give me 30 grams per container. 8 walnut halves. 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Ceylon cinnamon. Then we just pour it into our cup. It should be the perfect amount.
Then when you go to make this one, I make it the same way. Run it under hot water. I do 2 cycles on the light ice cream setting. Look how insane this looks. Seriously delicious. Like, it's crazy that this is so healthy for you. There's nothing bad in here, and you get this super thick, ultra creamy ice cream texture. Okay, here's how to make a pumpkin pie cookie blizzard. I made these pumpkin pie cookies in my last meal prep video. So I crumbled those up, put them into my CREAMI, and then you can press the mix in button. It'll mix in like cookies or chocolate chips, whatever you want. And the result is a pumpkin pie cookie blizzard. Are you kidding me?
Seriously, one of my best creations. Pumpkin pie cookie blizzard. So freaking good. Phenomenal.
Another thing that's really cool that you can do with the Ninja CREAMI is make super thick smoothie bowls. So today I'm making my refined sugar-free acai bowl recipe. I went through a phase of being obsessed with acai bowls. The ones at Whole Foods were my favorite, but those have a ton of sugar in them. They are super sweet. That's why they taste so delicious. So I always wanted to figure out a way to make them with no sugar, and I use dates as the sweetener. You need about 5-6 pitted dates. You can use less if you don't want it to be so sweet, but I'm trying to make this as good as restaurant quality acai bowl. A half a cup of frozen cherries, half a cup of frozen wild blueberries, half a cup of frozen mango. And to make this a little more nutritious, I add in a half a scoop of plain protein powder. The vanilla is a little bit too overpowering, so I use a plain protein powder. Blend that up until smooth and then freeze it overnight in your Ninja CREAMI cup.
Oops, there's a little bit left over. Oh, so good. It is really sweet. Going in the freezer.
Oh, I forgot to mention, if you blend this up with apple juice, it makes it so good, but I usually never have apple juice on hand. But if you want it to be extra sweet and more of a dessert, try blending it with some apple juice instead of water. I honestly do the same process for all these. They have a button for Smoothie Bowl, but I feel like the light ice cream blends it slightly longer. Yeah, I really don't know if there's a difference between the buttons, but here is the result. Look at this super thick acai.
Here is our delicious acai bowl. This thing is perfect if you like smoothie bowls. You can make extremely thick and creamy smoothie bowls with this. I don't know, you guys, my acai base is pretty good. Homemade acai. Pretty nice. Next, I'm gonna show you coffee ice cream. But what I normally do is I drink this for breakfast and I will add more coffee or milk to it, mix it up and make it a milkshake. So I drink a coffee milkshake. And I love doing this because you get some protein right in the morning. I find that I drink way less coffee when I drink this because it's only a cup that I add into it. So yeah, let's make it. First you need 1 cup of coffee, 3/4 cup of milk, a scoop of vanilla protein powder, 2 pitted dates, some vanilla beans. Oh my god, that was a ton. I forgot the walnuts. Makes it nice and creamy.
Then I just repeat the same process. I blend it 2 times on the light ice cream setting, and this is how it comes out as coffee ice cream. Super rich, so delicious. And then to make it a milkshake, I just mix in a little bit more liquid like coffee or milk, mix it up, and you get an instant milkshake. One more thing I wanted to add, if you're looking for a lower carb option and want to replace the dates in these recipes, I also like to use pure monk fruit powder that I buy on Amazon. This is my favorite no-calorie sweetener. It has a slight bitter taste to it, but you just need like a teaspoon of this. It's really strong. And yeah, if I want to do like a lower carb option, I will add this instead of the dates, and it works pretty well in most of these recipes. That is it for today's creamy recipes. Thank you so much for joining me. I have seriously so many other recipes that I've been experimenting with, so let me know if you want a part 2 to this video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!